right, welcome back to Cross Court. This is episode 2 with Leng. Like 2 said, we're gonna need 2-3 hours of him, and we got 2-3 hours. We can stay all night. But he was in the middle of talking about his brother. Will, you had a question to ask
Well,
him?
yeah, I just had to ask Lane really quick. So this is my analysis of Lane's playing career. So, Lane, I don't know if you feel how you feel about this, but I feel that if you wanted to be the best setter, you could have been. If you wanted to be the best middle hitter, you could have been. If you just stuck to one position, people would probably mention your name like, yeah, Lane, man, that guy was the best outside hitter of all time. I think that part of it, how I feel that you're underrated, was because you never really stuck to a position where you kind of just play here, there. Then so people never like glued you to like a specific position with it. Like, yep, that's him. He does that. Would you agree with my analysis right there, man?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, there was no, there was no position that I like to play better than the other, put it that way.
Yeah.
Um,
And I also want to ask, like, how come you didn't stick to just one position and then, like
I didn't want to be the best middle man. I wanted to be the best volleyball player that I could be.
Facts. Yeah.
I didn't want to be the best setter. I didn't want to be the best outside or best back row player. I wanted to be the best volleyball player that I could be. I wanted to work on all my skills. Work at every skill that was volleyball. Like my coach wanted me to jump serve more in high school, right? And I was like, but I suck at jump serving. And he was like, but you're so good at jump serving, right? And so that's where the jump serve came from, was him motivating me, telling me that I was good at it and I want to get better at it. Just stuff like that. It's like I didn't want to just be a hitter or a setter or something like that.
It just seemed like in basketball terms, like Carmelo Anthony, right? He's just a hooper. He just wants to hoop. It just seemed like you were just a baller. You just wanted to ball, right? And your passion led you into coaching. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Well, again, the guys are older. They're on a different timetable than me. The brothers, they all kind of moved on. I still wanted to be involved, and having not my brothers there with me, I had to find something to fill the void, right?
Yeah.
So a buddy of mine, a Doug guy that I played with in high school and stuff like that, knew from way back when, out of the blue, ran into him, and then him and his fiance were playing a Miguel League, right? A co-ed Miguel League. So they wanted me and my wife to play in their league with them. So I was like, yeah, I'll start playing leagues and stuff just to still ball and stuff like that. So then he started talking to me about coaching, and I told him, I was like, dude, man, my attitude, man. I am going to chew them a new one if they So he was like, yeah, man, just be yourself. I just need an assistant. Just be yourself. Kind of teach them the skill set that and stuff like that. I'm like, that's the easy part, man. Skill set and stuff is easy. It's the, trying to find that brotherhood, right, or sisterhood, if you want to call it, because that's the difficult thing. Try and make everyone believe in each other, and the team's bigger than themselves or whatever. So that's how I got involved. Was the big guy Doug buddy of mine got me as an assistant, and the wife was like, my wife was like, dude, you're gonna make these kids hate volleyball, man. Right? And I was like, just give me a chance. I told my wife, I was like, just give me a chance. I told Penny, is like, you never know. Just give me a chance. This might, fill the void of me wanting to continue playing, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got involved. And then from there, it was like I started coaching USAV, right? Club volleyball. And then the high school needed a JV coach and a varsity assistant, right? This high school that I was the club team basically plays for this high school.
Mm-hmm.
So the varsity coach was like, hey, be my varsity assistant, coach JV, um, let you do what you do. And and to touch on what I did was a 180 from me as a player.
Okay.
I realized real quick as a coach, you have no control on the court.
Yeah.
None. None. So why am I getting upset for? Why am I yelling? It's not making them play better.
Yeah.
If I was on the court and I yelled at them, I can be like, watch, let me do it, and then boom, I'm gonna do it, right?
That's facts.
So once I realized that on the first practice, you cannot yell at them the way you do as a player.
Right.
You have to like my coach made me believe I could jump serve and be real good, right? So I took that same mindset on the very first practice, was like, just make them believe they're good, even though they suck. Make them play better than what they are, right? Be like, even though they're doing it wrong, be like, nah, as long as the ball gets there, do it the way that you do it, right?
Yeah.
So it was all about motivation. It was all about encouragement. It was all about making them be more confident in who they are and what they do.
Would you think the mentality that you have as a coach, would you think that would work like under like let's just say like a Hmong volleyball team, like just like bunch of 16-year-olds kids like you were like 11, or like you said, would that work under that kind of environment? If not, what would it take?
If they had family structure at home, it will work.
Okay. Yeah.
If they're looking for that discipline and stuff like that, as a coach, it would not work. You would have to be the disciplinary as a coach. But if they already have that family structure in their house, yes, it will work. I mean, like, I'm a first generation Hmong, right? In the United States, right? Born and raised. One of the very first to be born and raised in the United States, if you want to say that, right? And right now, we're getting where our parents are moving on, they're passing, right? And then it's like we're having kids, and the generation that immigrated here as kids are having kids, right?
Right.
So it's like we have to, as a Hmong culture or Hmong community, we have to evolve and take the best opportunities that the United States have to give us, right? And cannot be the way that my parents were, where they didn't support us. We need to be more like Louis and Comaine's parents and support them and do what make the kid the best that a kid can be, right? And whatever he or she does. So until we get more and more parents like Louis Comaine's dad and mom with their kids in this generation, then my way of coaching might not work for a group of 16-year-old kids, own kids, but if they already have that family structure, then my way of coaching, of motivation, of telling them as long as the ball gets there, do it the way you're doing, I'm just going to put you in the best position to win, will work. But when they don't have that discipline and structure, then you have to be the disciplinary and give them that structure to believe in, make that person better,
Because I just asked that because I did run a summer training camp, but I found out that most of the guys that came there were just like there to like basically there was a net up and they just wanted to be there basically, and then nobody really took it seriously, because I was very serious about it. I took time out of my my own time and went out there.
I tell you, like there's a lot of talented kids in volleyball in Milwaukee area, a lot, and I'll go to the park occasionally and I'll see them and stuff like that, and I'll talk to them. But again, that family structure, like those kids that came to your training camp, they didn't have. To me, I'm not talking about not knowing them. I'm not suggesting it's them.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's their family life at home or something like that. But to me, it's just the perception that maybe, Pang, you should have been that disciplinary in your training session. Maybe they would have related better,
responded a little bit better.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
With me, I only coach P.2 girls, P.2 girls and stuff like that because I like I said, I went to the park, tried talking, trying to coach these kids up a little bit. Even like when my little niece Ashley was playing with her little girls team or whatever, I try to bring them up and try to coach them up and stuff like that. And it doesn't work that well because again, the structure, the discipline that they should have been getting from their parents wasn't there. Like they should just come to me as a coach just to make them believe that they are that good. And then, like I said, teaching the skill part, that's the easy one.
Right.
I'm trying to make them believe that they're that good, even though they're not that good.
Right.
Wow.
Obviously, man, you hit on some good points there, man. Definitely like some adult involvement, parent guardian involvement is crucial, man, just to a child's development, man. Definitely.
Because I have a son, he's like 16 and he's playing AAU basketball, AAU volleyball and all that. And I'm kind of reluctant to have him play Hmong volleyball because like I told him, I was like, it kind of develops a lot of bad habits.
It does.
And although he really wants to play and kind of reluctant to let him play, but yeah, I totally understand. Like,
I mean, like if you have somebody like, if you have like a group kind of like how Tuho and MBY in them, where they're structured and stuff like that. I mean, like, like I said, with drifters, there was no, we had that discipline from our parents already. Our parents just came over to the United States. They were real strict. You do something wrong, they're whooping your ass. Stuff like that. So we're definitely afraid to disappoint our parents, right? So, I mean, for your son, Pang, it would have to either go be all family, like us, or have structure like NBY.
No, because I remember talking our last interview that we had with a coup from California. He said there was this guy named Sean that kind of took care of everything, right? He just picked up all these kids. They were just 15, 16, or he picked them up and took them to the park and practice and all. You would need kind of that structure, like right? You would need that structure and that belief system, right?
I mean, like the way he was talking, it was like shit. MDY set time practices and stuff like that. Us, there's no such thing. It was like shit. Hopefully, you show up at this time.
You do that in real life, and you're getting cut and you're getting fired.
Exactly.
When you play like
but for us, with your family, there ain't no cutting, there ain't no firing and shit like that.
Because if you miss the practice, they gonna catch you at home,
exactly.
Hiding under the bed.
I love all these tangents, man. I love it.
All right, let's get down to some of the players.
Let's do some quick hitters.
All right, let's do that.
Let's do some quick hitters. 5 players for teams that you hated to play against.
5 players or teams. That I hated playing against, like you know, for me, I keep saying, even the players that I coached went through me for like 10 years of coaching and stuff. I said, don't use the word hate. It's a strong word, right?
Well, gave you guys the most trouble, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't hate anybody, put it that way, you know. The most difficult guys that I played against, it has, you know, the first one that comes to my mind is Ying. Ying, man, that
cannot be
that
solved.
guy, oh my goodness, man, he's so unorthodox that you don't know what he's gonna do, right? So me as a opposite team of him playing on the other side of the net, it's hard for me to tell or read or react to what he's doing because he has his own style that is never consistent, put it that way. Yeah, you know, so Ying has to be number one. That it doesn't matter if he was playing for Airborne or NWO or whoever. He's the guy that gives me the most trouble, put it that way. Another guy that comes up is Cal. I always love playing against Cal, but I know that when Cal gets in that mood, you can't really stop him. You can't really do much, but just say roll the ball underneath the net and give it to him. Hold on, my boy turned off the light. Okay. Isaiah, turn the light back on. All right, my boy's running.
That's all good.
Thanks, man. But yeah, Cal, once he gets in that mood, it's like, dude, you cannot stop him, and you roll the ball underneath the net. Say, move on to the next point. Another guy that gave me trouble, or I just had know that I have to step up my game to play against, is Ta. You know, and the only time when we played Ta is in J4, and for some odd reason, we always get to play Ta, right? Against Ta, no matter what. It don't matter. It don't matter when they're in a different pool or whatever. We know that they're gonna get out of their pool. We're gonna get out of our pool, and somehow the brackets are rigged. Playoff match, right? So yeah, I mean, like I know that he's the basically Mr. J4 highlight reel, right? He's like the Vince Carter when Vince Carter was the highlight reel. Dominique Wilkins when Dominique Wilkins was the highlight reel. Everyone wanted to see what Todd would do. So he, you know, every time we played him, it's like, damn, man.
It's gonna be a long day.
It's gonna be, yeah, man. This is gonna be. What do we got to do this time? You know, that was different from last time. Just to beat him, and it was just him. You know, he had more backup. They had more help at that time. If he came with a better squad, he would have done more damage at J4. But it was just him. You know, we were just like, you know, when we played against Colorado and Todd, we're just like, man, there's no way we're gonna stop him. There's none. We stop everybody else. We get more points. And we'll win. That was it. You know, so you know, Todd has to be in there as well. Another guy that gave me a lot of grief playing was Hua from Airborne, the lefty.
Ooh,
Hua, and they call him Hua. And dude, he was badass, dude. And I was like, damn, man. Every time he touches the ball, it was like, shit. Where's it going this time? How are we gonna stop it? How are we gonna get the ball up and stuff like that? So, wow. And then for some odd reason, Ma from MDY and Slamma Jamma, you know, Ma Sean, he always gave me grief too. So
he's a beast. Yeah,
he is. I mean, he was part of the 1-2 punch from MDY. The shorties cooling him on the outside, man. I mean, like. That guy, man.
He would like crank every ball too. It's like every ball don't matter,
man. Your shoulder get dislocated, man. My shoulder hurts from just looking at you, man. Just looking at you, my shoulder hurts. You know, it's like But yeah, I mean, like those guys right there
Yeah.
are just the top of my head. Those are the guys
Dang.
that I would be like, man, I got to step up my game. It
That's a
doesn't
good
matter
list right there.
And
what
that
position
5
I'm at.
players you wrote in a tournament with those 5 players, you
Oh, we winning.
dang, you know what I mean? Like, oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah, just let me play back row for you.
I know. Oh my goodness, bro. That's
I don't even want to go.
crazy.
Just let me be the libero. I don't even want to be in the front, man. You know, we winning with that squad right there.
My
I mean, like,
goodness,
Kale, you
bro.
get every ball, dude. Kale, every ball goes to you. It's all good, man.
Dang. How
Good
about
team.
5 players, past or present, that you didn't have a chance to play with that you would have loved to play with?
Oh, damn, man. I'm going to bring up some old school names, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go. Yeah.
First one I would love to play with because I kind of idolized him a little bit because of his age growing up. You know, I was like I said, I started going to the tournaments with my brothers and you know, my cousins and and stuff like when they were running rebels and stuff like that. And they told me, look at this kid, this kid from Detroit. He's only like 15, 16 years old, but he was dominating, you know. And I was like, oh, he's only, dude, he don't look like he's 15, 16. But they're like, yeah, he's only like 15, 16, playing with his uncles and stuff like that. And then years later, when he kind of already retired, you know, you guys know the Detroit boys and stuff like that, Tony and all of them. When he already kind of over the hill and stuff like that, I told him that. I told him the story that I'm telling you guys right now. He's like, hell no, like you are so much better. And I'm like, dude, I'm not so much better than you, man. But I would love first name to ever play, but I never had a chance to, was Kula.
Oh, yes.
Detroit,
Bro.
man. Yeah, man. He was the guy for me, man. I would love
Legend.
to have played with him.
Bro.
But he was already injured, you know. He already had too many injuries. He couldn't play the same way he used to play anymore. But I was already on when I told him the story. Drifter's already on the descent of the mountain already, right? I mean, Shaw and those guys. Shaw already kind of left and quit, and you know, he still hung out with us and talked shit to us all the time.
He
How
was
bad
so
we sucked.
smooth with it, though, man. He was so smooth with it.
Yeah, but
great player.
I would have loved to play at least one tournament with Kula.
Yeah.
You know, that's one guy. And then another guy, you guys know him, but he was the same way, you know, even though he was younger than me, he was the same way, you know, because Chicago Dave kind of took him underneath his wing a little bit, you know. Will, I would love to have played Will one day.
Okay,
But I never had a chance to because Will was the same way, man. He was a shorty back then. All he could do was just set because that's all Dave. That's all Dave kind of wanted him to do, right? Was be
all around though. I remember videos of him at Von Steuben in high school. He was killer, man. He was
some hops back then.
Yeah.
You look at him now. You look at him now. He don't look like he played.
Yeah, he doesn't look like it, but
he was a killer back in high school.
I would have loved to play with Will, because he was that kid just like me playing against adults. You know, we're like just kids. 11, 12-year-old kids playing against
J4 champ too with MDY.
Yeah, J4 champ too, man, with MDY.
Yeah.
98, the year that we should have whooped his ass, but but you know, I gotta get Will. You know, Will's one guy that I would love to play.
Shout out, man! Shout out, Will. We gotta get Will Yang on, man.
Yeah, man, we gotta get Will Yang and his brother Lou.
Everybody on your list right
Lou
here.
on too, man. Gotta get my brother Lou on here. Because you remember, you know, Lou and Will was up in Minnesota for a little bit, playing with Kale, Charlie, and all those guys. So they probably have some good stories as well. You know, with the Minnesota scene, stuff like that. So Kula, Will, another guy I would like to play with was Ying. Because he gave me so much trouble. I would just like to be on his side of the net one time and just relax and don't have to worry about it. You know, I never understood how he represented Minnesota in Hmong volleyball coming from Fox Valley area.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, dude, brother, you got to help us represent Wisconsin, man. I mean, it took forever for a Wisconsin team, us, to win. So you are going up there, man.
I have a story. I have a story. So like on our way up, like you guys were that squad that we needed to get past, and I just could not. I realized I was not effective against you guys. And the one guy that I saw that was always effective against you guys was Ying.
Yeah,
you know what
man.
I mean? And I found that, man, this dude is like cutting straight down on this dude.
Yeah,
I was like,
I was like,
I have to do that. That is what I have to do. You know what I mean? So that's the one guy I had to study. I study him every time he played against you guys. I study him. I was like, okay, that's what I have to do. Beat this team. Yeah, man, he's so cold, man.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then Ying, man. Like I said, I wish I would have convinced him to represent Wisconsin.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
You know, it would have been good. But then his Minnesota brothers would have killed him. So I didn't want that either. So but yeah, so it's Kula Will Ying, and then another guy that I wish I would have been able to play with, but he was kind of like before my time, was Kapu's older brother, Ganyang. You know, he running Rebels. He was badass, dude. I would have loved to, because he became a setter for KO, right? He kind of helped start KO as a setter. Now he was already on his decline. He wasn't the same anymore, but he was, to me, no, Kapu, man. I love you, but your brother.
He said that himself. He say that himself, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have played with him because, you know, like I said, going to the park or going to the tournaments as a 7, 8-year-old, you know, watching him, my brother B, them play, you know, I'm like, dude, man, have you ever seen a guy spike a spike? I saw it. His brother did it. You know, the guy went up to spike it instead of blocking it. And his brother spiked it back at him straight down. You know, it's like, holy
spiked it harder than the spike. It's out.
Exactly. You know, and yeah, I would love to have played with him. You know, even if I jump ship to play with KO when they're up and coming, just to play with him one time, I would have loved to have played with him one time. And then another guy that I would love to play with was Lewis.
Yeah.
I mean, I played with
Lewis, God, bro.
When
my
Lewis,
legend list.
Yeah, when Lewis is already kind of on his decline, where he's already not the same. Too many injuries.
Yeah.
You know, and we were kind of over the hill already. I played with him a couple of times, but I wish I would have played with him when he was the original Sun Devil. You know, when in hitting lines where the setter Johnny would give him a low set, he would go up and tap it and then spike it straight down and tell Lewis, Johnny, I need it a little higher, Johnny.
Legend, bro.
Man.
Legend, bro.
I would have played with that Lewis, you know.
Man.
I mean, like, I mean, Lewis was so badass. I see so many battles between Lewis and my brother B as a kid that I was like, dude, B, that's your opposite right there. Because I mean, that's the same game, the same thing as you, man. But yeah, those are guys that I would have loved to at least played one tournament with.
That was a good man.
It would have made my life easy, man. I wouldn't have been cramping. You know? It would have made my life easy, man.
That's a squad right there, too, man.
What about 5 teams? You wish the prime drifters, let's just say championship drifters, would have had a chance to play that you guys never had a chance to play, or a team that you guys always lost to, or you know what I mean.
All the teams we lost to at least once, we came back and beat them, so we got revenge at least one time.
Okay. How about teams that you never got to play?
I wish that not knocking you, Cal. Not knocking you, Thuhua. Not knocking you, Ku. But I wish that.
Hey, careful! This is uncut. Remember.
I know, man. I'm not knocking them. I'm not hating on them or anything like that. But I wish that they would have never convinced us to never go to California. Because I think it was like in it might have been 2000. I was gonna say 99, but it might have been 2000.
Okay.
2000, we're all geared up to go to California for their December New Year. For their Fresno New Year, right? So we go to J4 and we're talking with Cal, because we're like, hey, how's the California scene? Because we're thinking about going. We know that you're from there. You guys went there a couple times already and stuff like that. I'll go through Juana because we know the MDY went. And they told us don't waste our time, don't waste our money. Because like I said, we don't have sponsors, right? I mean, like we never really got sponsors for drifters. I mean, like this is out of our own hard-earned money, right? We got to take our family, we got to take our wives, our kids, or whatever with us on this trip. So we were all geared up. We're all like, yeah, we'll drop like 1,500, 2,000 each, go out there, make a family vacation and stuff like that. But then they told us that don't waste your money, don't waste your time, because it's a 3-day tournament. First day is basically garbage. Second day is garbage. Third day is okay. So we're like, man, we discussed it. We're like, man, this is a lot of money. We're bringing like 8, 9 guys with us, with the family and stuff like that. And we're like, man, is it even worth it just to go out there one time? We're like, man, that's more expensive than going to North Carolina, because we live in North Carolina, That's even more expensive than going out there. And
so you missed out on that California scene.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole entire, like, I don't know what teams were hot at that time down there, but I would.
That was like the 2000s, right?
I mean, like 99, 2000, right there.
Probably the MVP teams.
Like Bo.
Yeah, like Bo and them.
Yeah,
Bo and them. I don't know if Afu had his squad yet, but I think it was just like Afu was like Ty out there, right? It was just all him.
Yeah.
So his squad wasn't like big or whatever. It wasn't like the team to beat.
Yeah.
But I know that Bo was out there. Bo.
I know. We talked to a Cali guy. I don't know, one of our conversations. He said throughout those years, it was always Ravens too.
Yeah.
Because you guys would have to face Ravens.
Cambodian Paul team.
Yeah.
That's
Man, that would have been. That was one of the questions that one of the off questions I want to ask you if you guys ever traveled there, but
and we were all geared up and ready to go. I mean, that would have been the trip, but Airborne MDY kind of convinced us not to at J4. So we're like, man, our hard-earned money just go out there and sit in the sun for like 3 days of doing nothing, and we're like, we don't know anybody over there at that time either. So it would have been like.
It wasn't like social media now where you could just make a quick connection and be like,
exactly. Like I didn't know
any other teams in your head
of what of that we would have loved to play against. I mean, we played against a lot. I mean, a lot of good teams.
I think you guys been around long enough to play like something.
You guys play kind of across.
We're I would say I'm not like Duhal and them's generation, right?
What about any current teams right now, dude?
I know. I'm trying to think of any current teams that we would like to battle against.
I want to see you guys battle against the California team.
Yeah, like Prime Time or
you guys would have that would have been a good matchup.
Yeah, I mean,
they kind of mirror you guys in the way they play.
Yeah. I would have if Drifters Prime, physical prime or whatever. I would have loved to see how we stacked up against Team Cali. I would have.
Yeah.
I would have loved how, because back then it was like we felt like we could block anybody. We got their people. It didn't matter. Division 1, NAIA players. We played a lot of. Back then, we played a lot of club. We got club tournaments, stuff like that. And we played against Marty's whole Mika team, C4 a couple of times, and we held our own. Basically,
Yeah.
it was just Marty. Basically,
Yeah.
you know, those guys were like, you know, 6'4", 6'3", whatever,
Mhm.
and we were
Yeah.
roofing them.
Yeah.
It was just basically Marty went back there and jump served us out of the gym. That was basically it. You know, I mean, like JT back then. We called him 13 feet for a reason because you know what? He was the man blocking. He would just
It was
own
up
those
there,
big
man.
people.
Yeah.
You
Underrated
know,
too. I
and
think he's pretty underrated too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like he would just own those Migadel people and up at the net, and yeah, I would love to see how we would
I would have loved that
Team
matchup too.
Cali.
You guys against the Team Cali. I think you guys kind of the way you guys play kind of mirror each other.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been good.
Same.
Good matchup, put it that
Yeah.
way. It would have been see with Team Cali, because I don't know, this generation, I guess Duval running J4 a little more bit more strict and stuff like that. I would like to see how Team Cali's mentality is when it came to we like to talk across the net, if you get what I
Oh
mean.
yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to see if they can handle it.
Yeah.
Because that's the only edge, you know, looking at how they played and looking at how we played back then. Our only edge is to get the mental edge on them. You know?
Yeah, you guys were good at that, man.
Quote unquote Chong, yeah.
Yeah, quote unquote Chong, man. Oh, brother, I love you. You know I do. You know I love you, man.
Yeah.
But quote unquote Chong's theory.
All right, so game point ball, your setting, okay? Out of all the players that you play with, who is it going to? You get that one side out.
Man.
What are you going to? You never play with me, so you never play with me, so you can't set it to me, okay? I can't bail you out this time, okay?
Could I say myself?
No, you can't say yourself.
Oh man, I mean, like I said, it's built on family, it's built on trust. So, you know, I'll tell you the truth. It never, as a setter, setting for those guys, it never came down to I have to set this guy the match point ball, you know, or I have to set this guy this side out ball so that we don't lose. It's just the moment, you know. It's just who's hot at that time and who's carrying the load. If I had to pick one name that's just consistent all the time, all the guys I played with are part of the Drifter family, man. Shit, man. I'll have to say Shop.
Yeah, that's what
I mean.
Dang,
he's consistent.
He's such a beast, bro.
He's consistent, man. I mean, like, you know what to expect from him all the time, except for that Sunday J4 where it made him walk off the court. Except for that one time. But,
if y'all don't know, go back to episode 1.
Yeah. Except for that one time, but yeah, I would have to set Shaw because you know, you kind of expect him to do what he does. 100% of the time.
Consistency.
You know?
Consistent.
Yeah. I don't think anybody blame you on that.
That would be the guy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Start, bench, and cut.
Well, I want to hear this one.
Start, bench, and cut.
You're the coach, man. You have coaching experience.
Man. I do.
Here we go.
I start everybody, man. Same opportunity.
No, can't.
Same opportunity.
Start, bench, and cut. Okay, you got Yang. Okay, Airborne Yang. You got Kapu. Then you got Hugh from Fafa.
Damn. Ooh. Man, I will have to cut Hugh.
Okay.
Tell you the truth, I will have to cut because with me, I think Kapu and Ying's a little bit more versatile than Hugh.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Hugh to me is
great player too. Yeah.
You know, he has a huge block. He's more of a chopper when it comes to hitting. He chops, you know, a lot. So when those three players, Ying
so who's starting?
Ying and Kapu has a little bit more versatility than Hugh to me with those three players. I would have to start Kapu over my boy Ying, even though Ying gets me in trouble.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know, I would bench
Mm.
Ying for almost the same reason. You know,
Yeah.
Kapu has the versatility, kind of like what you said about me, Will, that he can basically do it all.
Yeah.
Kapu can hit from the back row.
Mm-hmm.
Ying tried hitting from the back row against us at
Yeah.
97 J4, which
Yeah.
got called on. You know,
He was front row, he was back row.
he tried saying that he jumped for the back row, but he was like 2 feet away from the net. But yeah, I mean, Kapu, like you said, Will, about me, about my game, Kapu has almost, he's not weak at anything, and he's not great at anything. You know, I mean, like, he can set, he can play back row, he hit from
Yeah.
back row, outside, middle, right side, whatever you want.
Oh,
Anything.
Kapu can do it, right?
Funny story, bro.
Yeah.
Funny story. I think Gert showed us a video. That fool, he served, and came all the way up front and then blocked.
Hell.
About Kapu?
He's so cold, ain't nobody gonna call him out on it. Served and came back and roughed everybody.
I remember one of those videos. Someone did do that. There was 6-on-6. Homeboy served, and he just ran right to the
came
front.
Back and roughed him.
Oh, hell no.
That was a long time.
Gotta pay attention, man. The refs gotta pay attention.
But definitely, man, Kapu, man, all around, man.
Yeah,
You see him play like
shout out Kapu. He was upset. He was upset at me because I didn't put him in my Mount Rushmore.
What? I mean, I like your Mount Rushmore, man.
I told him it came down to him and Chaos, and I was like, I gotta pick Chaos.
Yeah, give the ladies some props. You know?
I was like, Chaos dominated. They're the first.
I know, man.
The women's team. They played fours. Yeah. That
was our era, you know. I cheered them on, you know.
But
yeah,
kid you not, fool served and came and roughed the point and went back to serve again.
Hell no, man. Hell no.
That's how game he was, man. He's not about to win this tournament.
Yeah, but Kapu, man. I mean, that guy was
great player. Great player, man.
Man, injuries cut his career right when he was getting to the prime of his career. He had too many injuries there. Too many injuries. You know, I wish that you guys would have been able to, because I don't think there's video of him back then, but he was the guy that was originally hitting back row, like he was hitting front row.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you set him a ball that was just off the net a little bit, and he would legit jump from the back row line, the 10-foot line.
He could glide.
Yeah.
He's that dude I looked up to when I wasn't even playing yet. When I was just, when my parents would just drive up here to go tournaments. And I remember him because he was the only dude with high socks on. Skinny dude. Yeah, he looked like my mom's brother. So I was like, man, I thought that was my mom's brother, but it wasn't. But I was like, man, that dude can really play, and that's why he always stuck, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, sometimes I even put on that high sock because I want to be like that dude.
Yeah, that dude, man. I mean, Kapu was that dude.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, man, he must have been only like 18, 19, started getting ankle injuries, rolling his ankle all the time, and knee injuries and stuff like that. So it was like, people that are younger than me or players that are younger than me didn't really see the real Kapu when he was running Rebels, like the real Kapu. I mean, like, I wish they would, because I don't see videos of it, anywhere. So I don't think there was anybody taking any videos of him playing back then. But he was, like Peng said, that dude that was just like, oh shit, man. This is what you need to be.
He was so explosive, man. Yeah.
But again, too bad I ran and played with his brother though. I still love you, man. I still love you, dude. Still love you, man.
All right, man. We're winding down here. We don't want to take up too much of your time, Leng. So how has your success in Hmong Volleyball helped evolve you in your personal life outside of volleyball?
I don't think you have enough time on this segment for that
Bet.
question, man. I mean, I just had this conversation with my wife and my little niece Ashley. Um, it's like, you know, I want to shout out to all the wives out there. All the wives of Hmong volleyball players, man. About you.
Yeah.
About you girls. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Facts,
This would
man.
never happen, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to all the Hmong volleyball player wives for allowing us assholes, idiots to do all this stuff.
Out of patience.
Yes. But I was talking to my wife Buddy and Ashley, right? About how the evolution of Hmong volleyball in the United States kind of mimic the NBA a little bit, right? I mean, when it first started, Hmong volleyball first started, it wasn't like we didn't have platforms like this, or it was just not that big. Everyone was into soccer, right? I mean, Hmong was into soccer. They had soccer tournaments, and volleyball was like the afterthought, right? And same way with the NBA. They had the NBA back then. There was probably like 11 NBA teams, 9 or 11.
It was like ABA, NBA. Yeah.
You're right. ABA had like 8. And then David Stern came along with NBA, right? And merged them with ABA, and now we see the modern team NBA. So it's kind of the same thing, J4 started rolling around. J4 was mainly a family reunion picnic, right? It was more of a family reunion picnic, and then Lao family kind of got involved and made it a little bit bigger, and stuff like that. So it kind of evolved with the Hmong sports, and then volleyball kind of evolved with it, and then volleyball got more. And the Hmong volleyball got more popular with the younger kids, my generation, right? Because our parents were just going to the park to play, taking us along. So it kind of mimics how David Stern and Lau family kind of did the NBA, did Hmong volleyball, stuff like that. And then Thuhol's generation, those guys were like the Magic Johnsons and Larry Birds of the world, right?
Oh wow, yeah.
Right? They were putting Hmong volleyball on the map, right? With their athleticism, with their creativity. It's just not this how you play. You can't dink past the 3-foot line. You can't, I mean, like you can't one hand set. You can't serve receive with your hands like this.
Right.
And stuff like that. Then came along Thuo and B, Guyang generation and stuff like that. Kind of evolved it a little bit, right? So kind of like Magic and Larry kind of evolved, and then it came like our generation, the MJ Scotty's generation that came along, the Isaiah Thomases and all them. We came along and it was like, oh man, super athletic, super creative, doing all these crazy stuff. And NBA kind of went up, Hmong volleyball kind of went up. I mean, like at one point, kids didn't want to play soccer anymore. Hmong kids wanted to play volleyball, right? At one point, they didn't want to play basketball anymore. They wanted to play volleyball at one point, right?
Yeah.
So then from our generation came like your generation, Pang and Will and stuff like that. I call that the Kobe generation, right? You guys were like the in-betweeners, right? Kind of like, yeah, we still got the Jordan attitude. And then we're like all right, we'll kind of take it, right? And we'll stick to who we are and what we know and make it better. And then now it's like the LeBron generation, right? And I see that in Hmong volleyball too, is that we got to create a super team to win now. Stuff like that, right? It's like LeBron tried to do it in Cleveland, got to the finals. Instead of bringing the Cavs, that team up with him to this level and treat them like family, yell at them, they can yell at him back too. I mean, like for me, when I get upset that my brothers aren't up to their standards, if I'm not up to my standards, I take full responsibility and say I'm not up to my standards, yell at me, tell me that I'm okay. But right now it's like mentality is that you can't criticize anyone anymore. Right? Like the LeBron era is like, all right, if I'm not good enough, I can't criticize my teammates that they're not good enough. So I'm going to go and create a team that's better, even though they're not my brothers. You get where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same way with Hmong volleyball right now in the LeBron James era is that they don't want to bring up their brothers to their level because they feel like they're better than their brothers. Because I never feel that I'm better than any of my teammates ever. You know, it's just that I feel like my teammates, this is their level. They need to be at that level for us to win. And they feel the same way, you know, about me. It's like I never feel like I'm the man.
Right.
It's just that I feel like, dude, I need to be like this for us to be successful. And I feel like right now in Hmong volleyball is like they just can't criticize their brother. They can't tell their brother that, dude, you need to be
tough
good.
love.
Yeah, that tough love. You need to be good, man. If you're mediocre, we're not gonna win. It's like you need to be good. You need to get to great. You want to be great.
Right.
If you're just being good, average, whatever, we are not going to be great.
Right.
You know? It's like I just don't want to be great. I want all of us to be great.
Right.
We all have to be great. So from that mentality of how volleyball has, given me, that mentality of, family and stuff like that. We still do it to this day. I mean, like my Drifter brothers are still my Drifter brothers. You know, I mean, it's just not volleyball. It's like you're my brother, man. If you're part of the Drifter circle, and
how often do the guys get together, man?
Since not in 2020. Put it that way. In 2020, man. Oh man, it sucked. It sucked. It's all through text, and we don't even FaceTime because we're too old for all that stuff.
Right.
It's always through text and phone calls and stuff. No, I still see.
You guys get together for kids' birthday and stuff like that.
I see Chong once in a while for birthdays and stuff like that because his kid and my kid, their birthdays in the same month, so we still do that with Chong. But my other Drifter brothers and stuff like that, haven't seen them in 2020 too much because of the whole entire pandemic and stuff like that. But yeah, man, my story about volleyball is a little different than most because without volleyball, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably be in prison, federal prison. I'm
lost.
Serving multiple life sentences or something like that.
Volleyball gave you a direction.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, I want to be different from my brothers and stuff. Because my brothers, my sisters, because they all played. Volleyball wasn't my thing, and Pang, basketball. Some of those basketball players aren't the straight arrow people.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I was hanging around the not so straight arrow people, and I was only like 10, 11, you start them young at that age so that, they can never get out, right? So, yeah, I mean, like without volleyball, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the person I am. I wouldn't have the outlook on life that I do.
Yeah.
And that led you eventually to coaching and all your friendship too.
Yeah, I mean, like with coaching and stuff like that, it was just like I just wanted to give them my life experience to the kids, so so the kids won't go down that path. That's why, like I said, I did that 180 of being that yeller to that soft hand, if you want to say, the motivator.
Yeah.
Because I want that kid, that player that went through me, went through my program and stuff like that, to say, yeah, but my life is good. It can be better. Not to look at negative stuff. not look at negative things. Because it's
I'm
so much more,
I'm a firm
that's a great perspective, man.
I'm a firm believer, and I tell my son this, and I tell him why I push him so hard is I'm a firm believer that sports is a great teacher of life. You know what I mean? It teaches you to fail. It teaches you to fail and how to overcome those failures. You know what I mean? Like it don't matter. Like let's just say you lose your job or something like that. You never panic because if you play sports, you've experienced that before. You know how to bounce back, and you know what I mean. So it's a great teacher and indicator of how you're going to carry on your life. You know what I mean? So that's why I tell him, I was like, man, just fail. Go out there, fail, bro. You know what I mean?
That's why, education's great and stuff like that. And I'm all for my kids wanting an education post high school, right? It's their choice, kind of like my parents gave it to us younger siblings, our choice. But even though my dad was killing me not to go to college and stuff, but I still did. I still went to college and stuff like that after a couple of years of not going after high school, But anyways, with sports, it teaches you the greatest thing of sports is communication, body language. Body language is huge in communication. It teaches you how to communicate with someone that you might not like. In a real life workforce, there's a bunch of people that you might not like, but you still got to communicate and work with them. It's the same way in a team sport, team aspect, right? It's the team that teammate that you might not like, but you got to get on the same page and work together so that you guys will become great at something. It's the same way in life, It's like people that you might not like at your workplace. If you two work together, you two are going to get raised, make more money.
Right.
It's all good, So that's what volleyball has given me. It has given me the perspective of, family's family. None beats family, man. That's the honest truth. You always know that you can always count on them no matter what. And then, basically, like I said, I wouldn't be here to save my life, literally and figuratively.
There you go.
That is, I owe who I am right now to volleyball, to Hmong Volleyball.
Yeah,
we're glad that you took that path, man. You wouldn't be on my list if you didn't take that path.
Yeah, man, I'm just glad to be on somebody's list.
I would love to end on that note, but you know what? I'm gonna be a little devilish right now. Okay. So what's that one game or that one match you wish you had back and you would have just replayed it?
Man, that's an easy one, man. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother Gomez. I'm gonna have to put you on the spot, dude. But the match against in J4 against the MVP, when you crossed the line, dude. I would love to have that match back because you know what, we're dominating them. And to tell you the truth, I didn't play the first two games of that match. Because the first game they beat them so easily. Because I overexerted myself in the semifinal in the quarterfinals, right? We're playing against a Cali team. I forgot. I think their name was Kryptonite or Krypton or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were legit, right? And I was like, man, we got it. First things first, we got to get over this Cali team.
Yeah.
Right. So I basically maxed out to get over this Cali team. And Mang was just like, here you go. He wasn't going nowhere. I was like, dude, man, we're winning. Go somewhere else. But he just kept on coming. Kept coming to me, right? Front row, back row, it didn't matter. Mang was just like, here. I'm like, dude, this was a perfect pass. Why don't you set somebody else? But Mang was just like, oh yeah, let's just win this game. So I kind of maxed out, and I told the guys that, I'll sit out the first game, see how you guys do.
Yeah.
And then if you guys win, I'll sit out the second game, so I'll rest. I'll be in the finals, right? So I sit out the first game, man. fucking those guys, Chong, Komang, JT, they fucking dominated.
Yeah,
Killed
killed them.
Killed them this game, right? So I was like, all right, man, the plan is coming to fruition. This is how it's gonna go down.
Right.
And then I think it was like 12-12, and then 12-12, and then I think it was Butch or somebody started talking shit to Gomang in the second game, and Gomang got hot, kind of like hot.
Right? Yeah, never seen him talk like that before.
You know, he got real hot, and then we had him losing like 15-13 the second game, and I was like, oh shit, that means I'm gonna have to go in and play, and I'm like fucking cold, I'm fucking cramping up and shit. So go in and play, and then I think it was like deuce ball or something. Gomang hit one, and he just tripped over the fucking line. And
is that what happened? He tripped.
He was talking shit. And Thuo already kind of warned us, kind of like Lewis and Gomang's dad warning us, thinking that we're going to fight, even though, you know, those guys are my boys across the net. You know? It's not like we're going to fight and stuff. I think Thuo thought that we might have gotten to a brawl. So he kind of warned us about it. And then Thuo said, whoever crosses the net is going to find out our point. Crosses the line, because Gomang was crossing the line yelling at him because Gomang got hot, right? So when that happened, it was like, oh, it's over. Momentum's gone. There's no way we're coming back when they got match point.
Okay.
You know?
So, when that happened, did you guys take a timeout after that? Did you guys talk?
Hell no. I was like, this is too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing, man. Ain't gonna take no time. We're gonna play this out. But we actually did take a timeout though.
Yeah.
Because we thought he was hurt. We thought he sprained his ankle or something. So we actually took a timeout.
He just fell over like
he fell over. I know. I was like, dude, man. Like Paul and I just looked at each other. We're just like, what the hell, dude?
Who is this guy?
At this moment?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, come on. At that moment, come on. You should have known better, man. You should have known better, man.
Dope as heck, man.
Yeah, that was a big game. There was a lot of crowd. I think the crowd was pretty deep. It was pretty deep.
I think that was like the finals right there, man.
Yeah, it should have been the finals. They had a bigger crowd than the finals did. Semifinals only. But you bring that up, Will. I'm gonna say something too, man. I was like, when are we gonna see Jay Fourth with that crowd again, dude?
Yeah. Right.
I mean, like, from what I saw in videos and clips and pictures, I'm like, dude, that doesn't even motivate anyone.
Right. Yeah. You know, some of the videos on YouTube, like recent tournaments of Jay Fourth, it's not like
There's no
that.
motivation. There's no.
I remember, like, towards the kind of the end of my playing years, I remember this OG coming up to me and asking me, who am I playing with? You know what I mean? And that's the thing, right? Like back then we had like a lot of OGs following us and just watching us, and a lot of just, you know, you ran across a lot of generations. You know, they got young kids and you had teenagers, and then you had a lot of OGs just coming out and watching. A lot of OGs dragging their kids and just, you know, coming in and watching, you know what I mean? But you just don't have that anymore. It seems like the people that are watching are just like the volleyball people. That's it.
Yeah, just the
wives
and just the wives, the players that aren't playing or waiting to play. That's basically it. I mean, like, there's no more. I don't know. I don't know how to call it. There's more hype.
Fans. Yeah, just the fans.
There's no more. I guess hype, you know, it's like it's. I mean, volleyball's still being played cleanly. I mean,
well, I remember back in the days in those tournaments, I would be like, damn, I can't wait to see Drifters versus this Minnesota team. So it's kind of like when they play hyped up and everyone gathers and everyone watches it. You know what I mean?
I guess there's no entertainment factor, right?
Right.
There's no more entertainment. It's just strictly volleyball.
Or it's not interpersonal anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to be like, oh man, that's my nephew over there. Like, let's go support him. Now it's like, oh, like this dude brought a bunch of other people. You know, it's
the LeBron James factor, man. I mean, there's no more team.
Yeah.
I mean, like, would Pang ever lead GTO or all conference? No.
Yeah.
No. That's you, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, you would never leave though. I mean, if Pang in his prime, in his best, Airborne at their best, King Colin, I think Pang would say, no, I want to beat you instead of I want to join you. You know, there's no way. Back then, we would have said, fuck, Airborne wants me to play for Airborne. I've been like, nah, man, that's the mountain I want to beat. That's the mountain I want to climb. That's the guy. Those are the guys that I want to be better than, you know? I mean, but now it's like, who you cheering for? You cheering for one team, you're cheering for all.
Right.
I mean,
Right. Yeah. And I think
you're
in some of our interviews, some of the players alluded to that too, like how it used to be city based, where we're playing as a city and we're representing our city. Now it's probably more like I guess it's team. Like, okay, let's just build a team, whatever team it is, let's just build it. Back then it used to be like, we're from Milwaukee, so we're gonna represent Milwaukee. We're from Wausau, we're gonna represent Wausau, Appleton, and all the team would see who's the best in Wisconsin, and they'll go to Minnesota, see who the best in Minnesota.
I tell you, man, everyone thinks Drifters out of Milwaukee, but Drifters ain't out of Milwaukee. We're from all over Wisconsin, man. I mean, like JT was from JT was from Madison. Shaw, I was from Madison for a little bit there. Shaw was from Whitewater. You know, Chong's down there with you guys in Illinois and stuff like that. Gomeng was down there with you guys. Only ones that were really from Milwaukee was my brother Mang, Buddha, Fly, Left. Those guys, you know, it was like we just played and practiced in Milwaukee. That was it, because that was like closest for everyone.
Dude, you guys kind of had like a super team, dude.
What do you mean a super team?
You guys had like the best players right there in Wisconsin during that time. Would you say that?
It seemed that way, but when we all came together, we were a bunch of scrubs. You know, we were a bunch of scrubs. We were just trying to make our name for ourselves. We're just trying to be competitive at times. You know, like the thing about the thing about Chong coming to Drifters is Chong and I had so many battles, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of you losing to me. You still join me.
Tired of you, tired of me,
Chong.
man.
I'm just kidding, Chong. I'm just kidding, man. But honestly, it was like Chong was ready for a change at that time. You know,
during that time, Chicago didn't really have.
No, it was like Lewis and Johnny kind of. You know, I think Johnny moved to Elgin or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was like the Chicago team was breaking up anyway. You know, so I just like, you know what, Chong, just come play with us, dude. And then Chong and Meyer just came up to Madison almost every weekend when I was in Madison, you know, and then we just kind of, you know, he was the one that got us all drinking heavily. Every time he come up, it was like 2 cases of beer with him. So it was like, dude, we're up here trying to practice, man. Trying to get better on this weekend. Get ready, man, for J4. Man, he comes up with 2 cases of beer, and we have to finish the 2 cases of beer while practicing. It was like, dude, there's only like 5 of us here.
So one more thing before we go. Okay, Will keeps on bringing up this story. Okay, Will said he was so close, forming a team with you and Chong, Blong.
Yeah.
Who was it? John?
I forgot. John Moore. I think it was me, Leng, I forgot. Chong, Ricky.
It was like the Vietnamese dude.
Knock was another guy. I think that was it. I don't know why Leng wanted to form a team, but but it just didn't work out.
It was Chong, man. Chong convinced us to jump ship. Oh, okay. You know, we jumped ship for one tournament.
Yeah.
Right. We jumped ship for one tournament, the Whitewater tournament one year, and it was me setting, Chong, Gomeng, Knock, Lewis, Yoko, and JT, my brothers, the Drifter brothers hated us for that one time. I mean, like, this is when we're still, you know, on our run. Chong just wanted to try. You know, when Chong gets something in his head, he gets the idea. He's all in, right?
Yeah.
So Chong convinced me to try it out at Whitewater with the squad.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who we played? Drifters. Right?
Yeah.
And they spanked us with Mang setting. They had vengeance, man. They spanked us. So then it was just like, I told Chong, shit ain't gonna work, man. It's not my brothers over here. You know, I can't yell at Gomang. You know? It's like, Knock is still a little kid. I can't yell at Knock, you know? And I don't really know Yoko like that back then, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like, dude, I can't be myself. You know, you could be yourself with me. I can be myself with you. But we need the whole team like that.
Right,
you know?
right.
So that's why, you know, even though we had the firepower with that new team, there's no way that we were better than Drifters.
Yeah, just the connection.
And Will was supposed to be that team. But I don't think you were available for that tournament. That's why they made me sad.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what happened, man. I had a short career, man. I played like a couple of years and that was it, dude. Like I said, I'm not an expert at anything.
I look, I tell you something, Will, man. You were kind of thick, right? Kind of bigger guy, right? But man, one summer you came back, I was like, holy shit, man. Dude, this cat right here is gonna be legit. He keeps this up, you know. But it only lasted for one summer though, Will. You remember that summer too, I bet, right?
Yeah. See, I was saying, man, I had a short career, man. I'm not an expert or anything, but you know, I'm a fan. So.
Oh man.
Thanks for sharing those stories.
Yeah, man. Dude, there you have it. My goodness, bro.
I could talk, like, so volleyball to me is different. You know, I can talk volleyball forever.
No, when you talk, you can feel that passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that passion.
I don't know, like even when I talk with my Drifters brothers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we talk about who's the greatest, who's better, because we're competitive within ourselves, right? We think we're better than each other.
Yeah.
And I never really get involved with that because it's like, dude, we're all better together. We were better as an individual, you know, because we were never better as an individual. You go to any team, you would just be average, you know. So
yeah,
that's just us.
Thanks,
bro, we got to get you back on like one of these debate episodes where we go like, man, who's the greatest, this and that, and just have you like debate, and because you have leverage. Yeah, you have leverage on what you say. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
it's one thing hearing it from us, but it's another thing hearing from you. You know,
the all-time greats, man. I still think they're underrated. I still think that you would have stuck to one position, people would know you more, dude, because you played around in many positions, people didn't see like your full talent. But for me, in my eyes, I'm like, man, this guy is it right here, man. All around, do anything. Swiss Army knife on the floor, doesn't matter. Even the leadership part was important as well too. So,
you know, when you said that, and my wife, you know, P.2 and Ashley heard about it, they're like, man, you're the kid of the team. How the hell are you going to lead them? I don't even think you're leading them. It was just, when you said that, we all got a little chuckle, Will. It was like the kid of the team, man.
No, hey, hey, one of the greatest to ever do it, Leng. Thank you for joining us, man. You gave us a bunch of insight, bunch of advices, man. You young bucks out there, y'all better listen up. Listen up. Stick around for the 2.5 hours or close to 3 hours of it.
Yeah, man. I can go on forever, man.
Yeah, so Leng, stick around. We'll go through some logistics, but hey, thanks a lot.
Right,
thanks a lot for joining us.
Humbled,
until next time,
humbled
guys.
For being on, dude.
Yeah.
Humbled.
All right. Peace.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done.